Hello and welcome to Roofers Coffee Shop, RLW, Read, Listen, Watch. We are very proud to be bringing you this webinar, which will also be a podcast and will also be a transcript so that you can listen and learn however works best for you. And today I am very excited about our guests. We have Eugene Zukowski, who is with us today to really talk about something I'm a little bit passionate about, and that is contractors being a part of the software solution. So many contractors are out there looking for solutions. I know even in our business with Roofers Coffee Shop, we're always looking for these great technology solutions. And whenever you can find a company and you can find product managers and developers who will listen and understand your business, you can fly. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. And we brought in an expert. Please meet Eugene Zukowski. He started working at Jobba Trade Technologies in 2018, and he's been bringing huge amounts of knowledge on how to really put together the software that will help your business, the roofing contractor's business. So as we're talking today, Eugene and I, as you can see, are on video, and we are going to be talking and chatting and really diving into how you can use this type of development philosophy and research in your getting the right software for your business. So Eugene, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate coming on and talking about this today. This is a real big passion of mine, so I'm really excited to be a part of this conversation.
You know, I love these kind of conversations. So we're going to talk over some great stuff today. I do want to remind the audience that this is being recorded. And so please be sure to ask any questions in the question box in your control panel, and we can address those at the end. If Eugene doesn't cover it during the hour that we're going to be visiting. And I also want to be sure that you are aware that this can be found along with all of our other RLWs on Roofers Coffee Shop. So let's get started, Eugene. This is going to be fun.
Sounds good.
Okay. So Eugene, you know, as some people may know, I worked at Eagleview when it was a startup. So I was able to really learn a lot about contractor-driven development, how you sat and visited with contractors and really understood the needs from a technology standpoint. But not very many people have had that kind of cool experience of working with professionals like you. So maybe you could take some time here and just share with our audience, what is contractor-driven technology all about?
Yeah, I mean, this is really, it's the cornerstone of what we're trying to do and what we believe in to get things done the right way for our contractors. But in a nutshell, it really means sitting down with the contractor and watching them do their business, walking roofs with them, really watching the people in the field, click the buttons, all the things that they have to deal with. So it's really taking the time to sit down and walk in their shoes. So make sure that, when we're building something, it doesn't just solve a technical need, it really interacts with the way that the contractor actually has to use that software. Or, it's really making them part of that process and developing all of your solutions with the end user in mind and taking that time. I mean, there's really something that's really hard to replicate sitting behind a desk punching keyboards that you can't get when you're out in the field walking on a TPO roof. You realize that, yeah, that's great that the contractor or somebody can do this, but then you don't realize it's 110 degrees up on the roof, it's bright as can be, and it's that extra advantage of understanding the other like elements and variables that you have to deal with. And I'll tell you one thing, I'll never forget to bring my sunglasses with me again when I'm walking a roof with a contractor, because that was a lesson learned. So that's really the heart of that. The contractor-driven technology is getting involved, getting in the field, getting in the office, sitting there watching an admin answer, phone calls and trying to set up a customer and take notes and be accurate, but then the phone's still ringing there's 3 other lines going off. So it's really about trying to walk in your contractor's shoes to understand their pain points as much as possible.
Yeah, I've been involved with this a lot of times, and I would love for you to share too, just why, talk about a little bit about the pain points. I mean, roofing has its own way of going, right? I mean, it's not when you're developing software, you can't just say, oh, it's just like any other construction, because there's so many different things. So how through contractor-driven technology does it really help the developers and the product managers of the technology company understand the pain points?
Well, let's look at an example of something as basic as entering a customer into the system, for example. I mean, that's very technically easy to achieve, but if you don't understand that limiting the number of clicks or the screens or the buttons to press, because that person is not just trying to enter a customer, they're trying to make sure that that customer is getting responded to, and that again the phone could constantly be ringing in addition to trying to take care of that customer. So it takes the mindset from really thinking about just solving a problem technically to really making sure you're taking that extra step to understand what the contractor is dealing with. Like roofing contractors deal with things that most developers really won't even consider. Like, my service technician is not up there just to take pictures. They actually have to walk around with that, the gallon of a primer and a patch, and the last thing they want to do is take a picture. What they really want to do is just fix the leak or the problem that's happening. So it's building in those little extra pieces of element to the developers to really so they understand that this isn't, a normal person using a computer. This is somebody who's got other things to do, and they happen to be using your technology to achieve it.
Yeah, so it's really, instead of just and sorry to kind of bring it down into layman terms, but really instead of just sitting back there thinking, oh, this is going to be great software for you, this is going to be so cool, the latest Google thing or whatever, it's really about you and your team, your developers being hand in hand in collaboration with those roofing contractors and really letting them kind of drive it back to you on what they need in the software.
Absolutely. So it's more than just getting that field experience or seeing the operations. It's also about communicating with them after we've technically looked at how we're going to solve a problem. It's, hey, here's some wireframes, or hey, can you guys sit down and actually try this? Can I walk with your foreman and have them use our piece of technology? So it's more than just understanding the pain points. It's taking time to evaluate what your solution is and working with our contractors. And we have a very active contractor community that we work with a lot to really sit down with them and talk through and also show them and make sure that they're involved throughout the process of development, which is, I think, a very key point.
I love that collaboration and creating solutions together. So let's go from what it is and let's go to the all important why. Why, why is this important for both the roofing contractor mainly, but also for you as a technology company? Why is having it contractor driven so important?
Well, it really actually kind of seems obvious why it would be so important, but the reality is it's so easy to lose focus when you're building a platform or a technology or a solution. You really can very easily forget the end user. So to us, it's really important because our goal is to help our contractors and our customers grow their businesses, become more efficient, really become that partner with them. So that's why it's so important to us that we make sure that we keep this as a core part of our process. I mean, it's as simple as, let's take that admin that we were talking about, somebody that answers a phone. If we can, in partnering with our contractors, develop a solution that can take 2 or 3 minutes off a phone call, that could be as simple as 5 or 10 extra calls that that person can take. And as we all know, everything really starts with that first customer's interaction. Is it a phone call? Is it an email? If we can help those people just do it a little bit faster, that's a little bit more they can get in there, and hopefully that's going to lead to more sales, more opportunities for our contractors to help them grow their business. Um, So that's really what their driver is and why we want to stay focused and continue to do things this way. Another example that I could really think of is one project that we're working on right now with General Coatings.
Mhm.
Um, we're helping them streamline their sales or their inspection process, where we're going to be able to go out, do an inspection, and really turn around that bid package in a matter of moments. So the idea is the easier that process is to get from inspection to data to bid, that hopefully they can get more bids out and really improve their process and help them achieve their growth goals.
That, you know, so when, and again, I just had bring back my experience of working at Eagle View, and I can remember one of the great comments was if Henry Ford would have asked his customers what, about building a car and what they wanted, and they would have said a faster horse, right?
Right.
And so as I think one of the things for contractors to really look at and to understand is that as you collaborate and work with technology companies like Jobba, that you are seeing your developers, your product managers are seeing things in a totally different way, but also learning at the same time. So that collaboration can really make a big difference in what is happening. Sorry, I hadn't switched the slide there, Eugene. But
That's
it
okay.
can really make a big difference too in finding things that maybe no one's even thought about.
Oh, absolutely. There's an inspection process that we're right now that we've implemented in the system called hot roof mode. The idea was actually it was kind of simple. It was at the when you said a faster horse, it kind of reminded me of it. Um, we simplified the process, basically mimicking an old school style, where a inspector or a technician would walk around with a clipboard, an aerial, and their camera, and basically it just kind of hit us right on the head. Why can't we replicate that process with technology? So
Yeah.
it's really working with our customers and seeing how they do things, and focusing on them is really taking things into a new perspective for us with Java on the platform. And that's just one example of being able to take the faster horse and really building what our customers are going to need to really help them.
Right, creating, making a car.
Exactly.
And what we're seeing in today's world is everything's moving so fast with technology that sometimes even the contractors may say we need this, but we need this to increase efficiencies. But really what you're seeing is, hey, if you just did it a different way, you would increase efficiencies. And maybe it's something they hadn't even thought of, but until you collaborate and work together, you're not going to find it.
Oh yeah, those are just things that sitting in a bubble in a vacuum. You miss that kind of thing when you don't work with your contractors, and that's what we've really noticed is we thought we've had solutions nailed, like I'm sure everybody has, and then
Yeah.
all of a sudden you go to practice and it's like, wow, how do we miss that little thing? So
Yeah.
it's taking the time to sit down with our contractors that is helping us, make improvements and look at things exactly like you said in ways that we've never really thought about before. And in some cases, I'm going to say a lot of ways our contractors never thought about it before. So it's really the combination of both of us working together that's really driving a lot of these new processes or tweaks on technology and things like that. But it's really it's both of us working together. It's really not we couldn't come up with it and they couldn't solve it. So together, I think we're really working on solving a lot of problems.
I think so too. And I think it's really important for contractors to think about this from a business growth standpoint. If they aren't really working with the technology companies, granted, there's always time to just buy it off the shelf or to, go download it off the App Store, whatever. But to really take your business to that next level, creating that relationship with really good technology companies can make all the difference. And you've seen that a lot, right?
Oh, absolutely. A lot of times when you buy something off the shelf, which they could be great products off the shelf, out of the box, a lot of times customers, contractors, everybody, they need to adapt their business to the way whatever tool they purchased works. What I've kind of really noticed is if you have an input into that process, you really can end up with a product or a tool that is going to help you run your business better, but the way you really kind of want to run your business, as opposed to completely changing your wheels because of the tool that you chose. So, I mean, a lot of off-the-shelf products do a lot of good things very well, but it's really the difference when you want to grow, when you really want to tighten up your processes. That I feel that collaboration can really make a difference for both companies.
Yeah, I do. And that really leads us in to the how. So we went from the what to the why to let's kind of talk about how. So the contractors, they need to find, for any business, I don't care if it's a roofing company, distributor, manufacturer, whatever, you have to find the right software for your business and for what's going to happen, and really finding the right platform. So can you talk about that, Eugene? Kind of how do they do that?
Yeah, absolutely. Having the right platform is key, and we offer a lot of tools for contractors in our platform. What Jobba really does, I mean, we have the tools in there, like the sales process, to help them, move customers through, inspections and proposals and things like that, and then helping them with little things like running their warranty department, or helping them set up excuse me, maintenance contracts to really fill that pipeline and keep moving things forward in service management. So we have a lot of those tools in place for our contractors. But what we've also noticed is, our contractors have some tools that they like to use that aren't necessarily our tools, like an accounting program or a CRM or something like that. So really where it comes into play is the Jobba is, we've built our platform to let our contractors expand their tool base. So if they need to use other tools or other pieces to really run their business, we feel that we're a platform that really wants to partner with the tools and products that our customers need to run their business every day. Excuse me.
Dang winter colds.
Yeah, absolutely. It's really, really getting to me today. Um, so yeah, as a platform, we really want to do things like, offer the ability to expand the tool set to, if you needed to integrate with your accounting platform, for example, or a CRM tool that you've really got your sales team humming along with. Um, our goal is that we really want to be that platform to help you build around all the other pieces that you need to run your business on a daily basis. So it's really important to, I think, find somebody who, or at least a company or a platform that's going to help you expand and grow.
And I think it's important. I say this all the time about marketing. If you're going to work with somebody on marketing, work with somebody who understands roofing, because it has its own nuances. So very similar to when you're building a platform or getting a platform for your business, you want to work with people who understand roofing and how to put that platform together in the right way, that they have the right processes, the right flows, the best productivity. But I really see as one of the most critical things in today's world is data. How do you protect your data, and how do you keep it so that you can reuse it and make sure that, that customer satisfaction to building owners, for example, of having all their data for the what's been happening on their roofs. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, absolutely. Data is, probably one of the biggest keys that, I mean, I don't think a lot of contractors really realize how important their data is and how it can speak to them to really help them run their business. So having a platform that'll allow you to see your data, look at different reports, or really give you those key insights into, how your business is running, or where you need to maybe make a pivot or a move like that, is so important. And having a data that's going to be able to have a platform that will be able to work with all that different data, maybe even, multiple data sources. For example, if, I run a lot of my stuff out of my CRM, which isn't necessarily, inside of Java, but we're integrated with them. We'll be able to get that data and really help paint that picture. So taking your data and being able to understand it and have it speak to you is so crucial. And having it all backed up and saved is so important as well. I mean, having your data on site in your office is a nice feel to have, but having your data backed up automatically, encrypted and on demand to you pretty much wherever you are in the office, at home, especially with what's going on today in the world with COVID and everything, and everyone working remotely. It's that instant access to your data, but also knowing that it's safe, it's secure, it's constantly being monitored and backed up is I think key to running your businesses today.
I know the contractors that I spoke to in the spring, the contractors that were using cloud-based software, project management, just like this, were able to spin immediately from having people in the office to working remotely. That is in itself so critical right now, to be able to have people work wherever they can to stay safe.
Yeah, that's really what we've been hearing from our customers, is they were basically able to just say, hey, everyone log in from home the next day. So
Yeah.
business continuation was almost like they didn't really miss a beat. It was just, you know what, instead of sitting at my desk in the office, I'm at home and I'm still processing my tickets. I'm still able to send out invoices to my customer to, keep everybody working. I'm able to communicate with everybody, all my service trucks, all my inspectors. So it was really, it was a small blimp for the contractors who I feel were running on cloud-based platforms and things like that. It was really just a blip on the radar, and they were able to be very flexible today.
That's why taking the time to really understand the platforms that you're incorporating into your business, that's why that's so critical. And that's why people are seeing success through it. So for continuing on our how, I'm sure there's a lot of contractors out there right now who are saying, okay, great, I have all these different softwares, I'm using them, how does this all work? So let's talk a little bit about that. And sorry, it flipped one too many. Let's, Eugene, share with, a lot of people out there use this word API, and we hear about integrations and we hear all this. So how can contractors kind of look at what they have and start figuring out that platform and how to bring it all together?
Yeah, that's I think right now integrations, APIs is like the new industry buzzword that everybody keeps talking about. I have this integration, I have that integration, but I think it's become such a loosely used term that people kind of really don't understand what it really means. So um, the way we kind of look at APIs is we've built Java from the ground up, really ready to work with other platforms that want to work. So if you have for example, an accounting platform that allows integrations, Java is a platform that is willing and able to talk to that accounting platform. But where the nuance lies in integrations is every contractor is going to have a little different process on how that integration needs to work for them. Most of the time, out of the box integrations they're okay. They do a lot of things and they can solve a lot of problems. But again, it could be a situation where that out of the box makes you change a process more than you really want to. Maybe you need a little bit of a different tweak. So it's really a decision for the customer. So the way we look at APIs and integrations as Java is we can work with, again, any platform that wants to work with us as far as integrating with them, but we really want to take you down a process to review it. What is your business process? When, for example, if it's an accounting integration, when do those invoice details need to end up in accounting? If it's a CRM, when does that customer leave my CRM and end up inside of Java so somebody can go and do an inspection or perform a service task? It's really about understanding how the applications need to work together. So it's not a matter of how, it's why. Why do we need them to work together? When do we want them to work together? And we really want to take our contractors through a process where we can review that and help them build the integration that's going to get the most efficiency for them out of the system.
And you have a readiness checklist, right? Isn't that something that you go through with your contractors?
Absolutely. We have a readiness checklist where we kind of ask some questions to the contractor to really kind of help them make sure it's time. And then we look through those different business processes to help them get organized and ready to have these conversations with us. So yeah, we would talk our contractors through um, uh, a pre-process to kind of help them get ready. So we're not really So it's a controlled, everybody feels safe and happy as we're going through the entire process. So yeah, we want to do a pre-ready checklist to kind of really help everyone, gear up and get ready for the road, into moving or adapting a new platform, for example. That's a big undertaking, a lot of times, that we really want to make sure we're helping the contractor get ready for.
And, I really see, and I hear this, and maybe you can collaborate on this, but that this is the time of year for contractors to really be doing this kind of research, the evaluation of their current systems, that readiness checklist, because it takes a little bit of time, right?
It does. It can take some time, and my understanding a lot of times is seasonally, certain contractors are less busy than others this time of year. So actually right now is a really good time to start doing a lot of that research, start asking those questions, start checking, excuse me, start checking the boxes on um, what they're going to need to do and what they're going to need to look at, what platforms are out there that can really help them transitions quickly or transition thoroughly. So right now is a really good time to sit down and kind of evaluate that while maybe your volume's a little bit lower or something like that, or maybe there's some end of the year advantages into looking at some other things that could really help you down the road or really have a very successful 2021.
Yeah, I think I really feel, and when I talk to contractors all the time, and myself included in my own small business, now's the time for us to do research, to really kind of understand, to build those relationships with the providers, with your sales team, because I think they can help you so much to really kind of understand your needs and evaluate what you already have. One of the things that I have been just jazzed about for the last couple of years, and I've talked a lot about to people, is on the customer portals. And I think this is one area that the contractors should be doing a lot of research right now on. I mean, this is cool customer service stuff.
Yeah, I mean the client portals are really it's the way a lot of consumers want to interact with companies today. um, Everything, almost everybody has some sort of a portal now, between your local grocery store to some big box. Everybody really kind of has that concept of a portal. So what we really want to build with that portal is that ability of, we've noticed throughout the years, is that really it helps the contractors clients kind of switch that relationship from, this is a vendor that does things when I need them to, or come fix a leak or whatever the case is. It really changes the attitude between just a vendor to my partner. So in that portal, I've got budgets, I've got reports. I can see the last time somebody was out to do an inspection. I can, take a look and say, oh my goodness, I didn't know I've got, 10, 20, $20,000 worth of repairs sitting on my roof. I need a budget for that next year. So that portal is really that place where I feel that the contractor and the client switch from just another vendor to, really, this is my roofing partner. This is the person that I trust to do my business with. So that's a huge advantage of the portal. And end users are really enjoying it. Property managers, building owners, a lot of people really like that level of service.
Yeah.
Um, we've done some things with our portal, though, in addition to that stuff, to really kind of help the contractor run their business. We've given them some easier ways for the customers to do business with them. For example, if a customer wants to request a leak call or something like that, I say we kind of knock down some of the barriers to doing business. If your customer doesn't want to pick up the phone to call that admin, they can request that stuff right through the portal. We can also do things like um, send proposals, go paperless by allowing our customers to accept proposals online. Even things like hopefully helping contractors get paid faster by invoicing and payment processing through the portal. So we really want to make sure that we're giving the tools that our contractors need, especially in all areas, but the portals are very, very close to their clients. So we want to give them those tools that'll help them, um, really make it easy just to do business with you.
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right. I mean, my doctor has Portal. And at first I have to admit, I kind of really hated it. But then I realized I can go in and I never even have to talk to my doctor and get all the information I need, and or I can telehealth or whatever. And now it's just like this is the best thing ever. Um, and when you think about facility managers, even homeowners, I think this is the wave of the future. Is if you have, let's say even for residential, if they're doing exteriors across the board, if their homeowners have a portal, they're now able to say, oh, well, we did our roof and here's our receipts, and then we're going to do our siding and all those different things. And obviously for facility managers, it's huge. What what are you hearing from your customers on this? Because I think really the facility management side of it, the service and maintenance, this isn't just going to be a nice to have. This is going to be you have to have it to do business.
We're hearing a lot more of that from our contractors that honestly, sometimes a phone call just comes in because in order for them to get a contract is one of the requirements is they have to have a portal. If you want to do, I very rarely hear about municipal jobs, for example, not requiring some sort of a portal for management. So a
Yeah.
lot of this is being driven not just from the customer experience standpoint, because it's obviously good business practices to help our customers easily, but this is also becoming a demand from the project managers, the property management company, or whoever. So this is a lot of customer driven demand too. If you want to do business with me, you have to provide me a portal. It's becoming a requirement.
Yeah. I know we talk in roofing about it, you have to have a website, which just seems so, decades old right now. But really, this is the next thing that you're going to have to be able to offer these services, especially like you said, when we get into commercial, into service and maintenance. And so one of the things I would really recommend to everybody watching this and to the contractors is ask your software about this. Do they provide portals? And if they don't, ask them to say, hey, we want it, we want to be involved, just like exactly what Jobba is doing. So okay, so that kind of leads us to our next thing, Eugene, and
Uh-huh.
that's really that relationship with contractors and how important it is. So I would love for you, there's probably some people out there, and you know what, I think I was supposed to talk about this a little bit at the beginning, but I'm going to talk about it now. I've actually been involved with FCS and Jobba for many years. And so back in the day when it was FCS, was through Eagle View, I knew the company there, great group of people from the very beginning. Why don't you share a little bit of the history of of your great organization? Because I don't know if everybody really understands it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So I mean, the Java is our is the company rebrand is the easiest way to say it. But what it really is though is we our roots are in FCS. So we've been in the roofing contractor space for 13, 14 years now under the brand name of FCS, and we've renamed it into Java. But what that really means is we're not new to the industry. We've worked with thousands of contractors over the years, learning this business. So a lot of what we've done is learn from our history. So we've taken those requests, that knowledge gained from working with all these contractors for over the years, and started Java from the beginning with that mindset that um, let's take this valuable information and make sure we build it into Java, make sure we build and solve the problems in Java that we either couldn't get to in FCS or um, for whatever reasons. We're taking that information, all that time spent and the info from our contractors, and we're still collaborating with them. We're still working with them. We're still making sure that those needs are being met and required, and Java's hitting the marks for them. So it's really about all that 13 years of history. We've rolled it up into a new platform, really.
Yeah, and I know through FCS, you work with some of the largest contractors out there. I mean, I think people would be surprised. I'm not going to throw out any names, but there are some big roofing companies that have been using FCS for many years. Talk about that, the importance of the contractor interactions and, kind of, again, you learning from history, but you've been working with these contractors for so long with FCS, and then now moving into the rebrand of Jobba and kind of that new era.
Oh yeah, absolutely. It's we're still in communication with those contractors all the time. The very large ones that you mentioned to the very small ones, we're still working with them. We getting that information and even reviewing um, Java as it's rolling out to them and taking a look at it and making sure again that their needs are being met, that we're not skipping anything in the process of getting that information over, that functionality that they need. Um, so it's really the best of both worlds between new contractors coming into the Java platform to really working with our FCS clients and making sure that all of that information is making it into the pipeline, the development cycle. That knowledge gained is not being wasted. So it's very important to our process to work with the FCS clients as well.
Yeah. And you're starting to, I mean, really taking that history, that knowledge, all those interactions, you're mirroring that, right? You're kind of with
Hmm.
the contractors and their jobs, because so much has changed with COVID. It's just ongoing. Even before COVID, so much is changing so quickly in our industry. It seems like it's more important than ever to kind of be working hand in hand to take those next steps.
Yeah, and it's a continuation process. I don't ever see it ending. We want our contractors involved in the platform, um, helping us look at things and making sure we're solving things with the right eye, and that constant open door policy that we have with our contractors is not going away. We really want to make sure that all of our contractors can be heard and that we want that information and we want to work with them to solve their real business needs, making sure that we're helping them hit that growth, hit that um, all the goals that they have set for themselves, that we're their partner in helping them get there.
Yeah, I think this roofing is all about relationships. No matter what people say, it's relationships with the homeowners, with the building owners. It's between the technology companies, the contractors, us and the contractors, the manufacturers and distributors. There's so much there that is critically important for contractors to be, you know, with a company that understands the history and understands roofing. So, what, you have a lot coming up. I know
Mhm.
that whole evolution, what we're talking about. Can you share with us a little bit about what are some of the next things that are coming up, next steps?
Well, there's a lot of things coming up, but there's actually one very important piece that we've added again through this evolution, through learning, through understanding our contractors is we've done we're working with industry partners to really kind of help our contractors grow, not just saying it. For example, we're working with Pegnato Roof Intelligence Network, where we're going to be able to give our contractors additional sources of revenue. If they want to work with an industry partner like Prin, for example, they'll be able to work through our platform to help them grow and build that out. So that's something we're very excited about connecting our contractors with industry partners like Prin and GAF and things like that as we're working through all the development and cycles and things like that.
Perfect. And then I know you have and I really honestly, I think these are some of the unsung heroes out there, but I know you have a big focus on super users and maybe explain what a super user is, both on the roof and in the office. I know we're going to talk about this in our next webinar coming up in January. We're going to really dive into this, but I'd like people to kind of understand what that is and why it's so important.
Well, a super user in a system is, I mean, it's really somebody who understands the process and what Java can really help them do to run their platform. How is somebody taking the tools that we've given them to improve a process? So we really want to highlight some examples that our clients are giving us of hey, did you know, for example, that I'm able to instantly know when a new invoice is sent to a customer or something. We really want to help highlight how our customers are using our platform to solve business problems and business needs to help them achieve their growth. And the same thing, a lot of times I think we forget the people in the field. I mean, who is that super foreman out there? Who's the foreman that was called to do a service ticket, and the next thing you know, um, let the superintendent in the office know that, hey, this customer's got a bigger leak. Why don't you call them before they have a bigger problem? So we really want to help highlight those people who are doing things going above and beyond to solve problems and help, help their customers save their roofs or whatever they were able to do. So we really want to work through some of those examples to really highlight those people in the industry.
And I know through my experience at Eagle View and Pictometry, there are super users out there who sometimes it seems, I mean, we just have a creative bunch of people in this industry, and I'm sure it's everywhere, but they can make software do things that sometimes would be a total surprise to the technology companies. Like, oh, you're doing that? That's great. How did you do it? Hopefully that doesn't embarrass anybody out there, but I think it does happen because when you're using it day in and day out, that really makes a big difference. And I think that's how it ties back into contractor-driven development, is getting beyond the owners, right? Getting to the people who are living it and breathing it every day.
Absolutely. I'm sure everybody has seen some creative solutions using platforms to solve problems. And really, those people are the ones that you really need to talk to. I mean,
Mhm.
obviously the owners and everybody have a lot of input and a lot of need, but they're the ones that are in the weeds. They're the ones that are, hey, you know what? I get that, but I'm the one that has to solve the problem. So really talking to those people, how they solve the problem, is very important to our development process because they see things even at a more finite level than than the owner or the manager or somebody else does. So really working with them is probably that one extra little piece that really makes a solution work very well, is getting down to those super users or even that super foreman, like, hey, it would be really cool if I can do this. Or I mean, it is really the corner piece of this idea of contractor driven development.
Yeah. So maybe before we go to questions, I just would love for you to share just some of that success that you've seen, maybe without any names, or maybe you have some names, but just contractor stories that really are looking at how do we how are contractors doing this? Some success that you're seeing in working together with Jobba, and kind of using it as an example to other contractors on how they might see that same success.
Oh, sure. So again, a lot of this is things that you would probably overlook when you're initially looking at something. And I mean, one of my greatest success stories so far, at least to me, is again, I went to that admin example because it's important to me, because I understand that a lot of this starts with that first interaction with the customer. But when somebody tells you that, hey, I'm going to save 10, 15 minutes a phone call, every single phone call using this platform, that's a big statement to me that we've got it, that they're going to be able to answer those phone calls, that they're going to be able to get that information out. So that's a really, really strong piece of the puzzle that we're doing, that we're listening to our contractors and what they're needing to run their business. And also another really good one that I love is when the contractors see an inspection, I mean, even a service ticket. It's the ability to, when they look at it and they say, man, I'm going to save 20 minutes just looking for my deficiencies using this platform, which is, again, it seems
Yeah.
like little things, but little things all add up when you add up all the volume to them. So there's a lot of that type of information happening with customers right now.
Well, and I think too, I mean, maybe you can touch on this, is when you're looking at contractors out there who are having huge problems with finding labor. And so labor is just, it's so critical. And 5 or 10 minutes for every inspection or every job can add up to a lot of time that you might not have to hire another person.
Oh, I mean, absolutely. I mean, it's again, really, it's kind of just math at the end of the day. If I can do, one extra ticket a day or, two or three extra service calls a week, for example, by one crew, that would hopefully alleviate some of that pressure to add more crews and to find that labor. As we all know, it's labor shortages is throughout the industry right now. But again, it's that extra little bit of efficiency that hopefully can take off some of that pressure of adding additional crews or needing to. So it's little places like again, inspections. If I can do an inspection a little bit quicker, or if I can get that information into the office a little bit sooner and turn around a proposal for my customer, uh, these little bit of efficiencies that we can add to the process hopefully will help some of the labor issues, because I don't need 10 people. If I have to do 100 inspections a week is my goal, just making up a number here. If I can do that with 5 people instead of 10, because the process is better, my reports come out better, my proposals come out quicker. That's really the goals that we're really trying to help focus our contractors in doing.
Okay. So, and again, before we go to our final questions, I just, and sitting here and listening to this, Eugene, is so interesting. I love the fact of contractors and the technology companies working together to really find the solutions. And so, but listening to this, I'm thinking, you know what, there may be some people out there who don't really understand the full Jobba solution right now, right? How does that work within, and we're talking about super users, how does that work within a thing? So just from a really high level, just can you give us a little bit of an elevator speech? And I forgive me all are out there if this should have probably happened at the beginning, but I think actually now understanding how you are driving this technology, let's wrap that up with what is it? What are you offering right now with that platform?
Oh, perfect. So yeah, the Java platform is designed for roofing contractors. It is really a full tool to help them from the beginning of the process, my first interaction with the customer, through scheduling and even doing inspections, generating inspection reports, giving our customers that field of roof so they understand what's going on up there, and then helping them create either proposals and again close that sales process. And then after the sale's been accepted, of course we have to service our customer. So our platform also allows contractors to manage scheduling, crews, notifications to their clients, performing the inspections themselves, capturing the before and after photos, keeping our customers informed automatically the entire process. For example, from the second my crew leaves to when the crew is done, my customers will be automatically notified if we want to do that. So again, it's a sales, inspections, service process, and invoicing. So the Java platform is really it's designed for the roofing industry um, right out of the box.
Yeah, and it's really the history of it has been very commercial, but you are seeing residential contractors using it also, right?
Oh, absolutely. Our history is definitely commercial, but we have residential contractors that are able and using the platform to help them every day as well.
That's right. And then just to kind of that, to bring it, wrap it right back around, is as you're talking about all the, from when you first touch the contractor all the way into the warranties and their data and the portal and everything else. But you're also then, because it's a platform, and like we talked about earlier, if as you, the contractors out there, as you are looking at your software, some of it, if you're just like totally in love with it, could possibly plug in to Jobber, right? Let's just bring that
Yeah.
in too.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if you have again, like Heidi said, if you had a platform that you really enjoy using and you've got a process in place and you kind of just need to plug it into something else to execute the work, for example, yes, Java is I hate to it's always is a big blanket statement. I don't like using it, but if the platform is able to be integrated with and things like that, we can definitely work with you to review what that means, and so you can keep that tool that you really enjoy and use the Java platform for the other parts. Absolutely.
Awesome. I mean, to me, that just seems like the best of both worlds. It's really
We hope
true.
so.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so I know I've been asking a lot of questions here. So let's go on and get our next question. I do have a couple of questions here that I am looking up right now. So one of the questions that came in for you, Eugene, and maybe you could expand a little bit, is you mentioned Pignato, Prin, GAF, some programs that you're doing there. I'm not, this question was, can you expand on that a little bit? Like, I don't know if everybody is familiar. I think everyone knows GAF, but I'm not sure if everybody's familiar with Prin or Pignato. What programs are those?
Sure. So I'll expand on them a little bit here. So Pignato is a service provider, so they use contractors to take care of their client base. So we have integration that will allow Pignato and Jobba to work directly together to be able to schedule and take care of servicing Pignato's customers. So that is the relationship with us and Pignato. So they're a service provider, and we're the bridge between their requests from their customers to getting it out to their contractors to actually get it serviced.
Yeah, and there are several networks like that out there that if you are in a network and you are working, you should be asking what kind of software is it and how is it going to work with the systems you have, because Jobba is involved with several. So I think that's another good research question.
Absolutely.
Okay, so this next question is, again, a little bit of a how.
Okay.
How do contractors even get in touch? Yeah, and I'm kind of taking this question and massaging it a little bit, but so often you make that phone call and you just get a sales call. And I think there's a lot of contractors and a lot of people who are like, I just don't want a sales call. I want to build a relationship. I want a partnership. How do you do that with Jobba?
Well, it might sound strange, but our salespeople actually want to build a relationship with you. So it's not really just I'm going to call and I'm going to get harassed by a salesperson. I understand that's everyone's hesitation about reaching out, but our salespeople, they really want to sit down with you and go through that process. They want to understand your needs. They want to make sure that you are getting into the right platform, because if we just sell it and it doesn't work for you, what did we really succeed, in my opinion? And I know we feel the same way. So if you reach out to our sales team, it's not going to be a hard sell. They're really going to sit down and kind of figure out, what are your goals? What are your needs? Can our platform really help you? Let's kind of review those things together. So it's safe to call our sales team, I promise, and they're going to work with you to build that relationship. And then as you go through the process, if you need to talk to project management or work through some things with us, our entire team's available. But the best way to start is to talk to our salesperson. We'll kind of get things started and review what your guys' needs are and move you through the process.
Yeah, I think, taking that first step is so important. And I'm gonna a little bit of when you're talking about research, Jobba has a full directory on Roofer's Coffee Shop. There's many articles on how to grow your business, how to use software in your business. I mean, just some great information. So that is a great place to start on research. I'm going to throw out there Roofing Technology Think Tank. Jobba is a big part of that. And they were actually part of the group that founded Roofing Technology Think Tank. And so to look at their directory solutions and to get involved really in this research of technology, these are the places to go to get information and to be able to really put everything together for your business. So Eugene, that is it right now for questions. I have to tell you, this has been great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for inviting us. I appreciate it.
Yeah, we continue to just want to build these relationships, bring the contractors together with the technology solutions, because honestly, it's never been more important. Being able to keep your crews working, be able to take care of your customers remotely, which is what technology provides, is just so critical right now. So along that lines, We actually Jobba is doing part 1 and part 2. So this is part 1 today on how contractors can help drive their technology solutions. So important. January 6th, we will have our second RLW with Jobba, and we're going to talk about how you as contractors can develop super users. This is really critical because training is everything. And so as Eugene, and during that RLW, they'll talk about the importance of training, the importance of education for super users, and really how culturally to bring the software in and to make it successful. Did I say that right, Eugene?
Yes, you did. Yes, 100%.
So I would invite everybody to join us. Please be there, same time, 11 o'clock, January 6th, and we will have part 2. So not only are you going to get how you can help make it happen, you're also going to know how you can incorporate it and build it into your own business. So again, thank you so much for being here today. Please visit our Read, Listen, Watch, RLW section of Roofers Coffee Shop. In there, you will find many of our webinars, podcasts, transcripts, articles, and our RLWs, which are always there on demand for you. This RLW will be available on demand within 24 hours. And again, to finalize, I want to say thank you, Eugene, for being with us today.
Again, thank you so much, and thank you everybody for joining. Appreciate it.
Thank you. And thank you all for joining us. Have a great day.